Am I honestly expected to sit through my first ever date with my entire family gawking?
Greetings, fellow readers.
Oh, fellow readers. So camaraderie.
I'd say we're deep into the episodes. I don't even know what episode we're on. 8.
7. Well, 8. Yeah, this is.
Oh wait,
our
no,
7th
9.
Yeah, this is our 7th book.
Yes, 7th book.
9th
episode.
Oh,
So they've hung with us for a while. You know, there's camaraderie, right, guys?
yes.
But if you aren't one of the people who've been trucking along this whole time, and this is the first episode you're listening to, welcome to the We Read Books podcast.
And when you're done with this one, just go back to the beginning.
Yeah, and then you can come back and listen to this
All
one again.
the way through.
We read books, and then we talk about them for our entertainment. Hopefully for yours too.
Of course. You knew what you were doing when you searched book podcasts.
Yep.
Because it's very intentional. These are not the podcasts that are just like on the new shit, usually.
Hopefully it might be the last or one of the last pre-recorded episodes before we start putting episodes out there, and then we can actually start responding to your
Inquiries.
emails. Yeah, your inquiries, your emails.
Yeah. We have been trying to get a bunch of content recorded, edited, ready before we release. Just
trying to be smarter, work smarter, not harder, you know?
Exactly. And with books, it's very never sure how often or how soon you're going to finish one.
Right, you might zoom right through one. Others might take you a while, either because you just need to digest it or because it's a slog.
Sometimes a book is just a slog, dude.
Yeah.
You just can't get through it.
Right. Or it's 8,000 pages.
Right. We've got some juggernauts on the list, so.
Yeah.
I don't think we've read any that are too long yet.
No, I don't think so.
But
we'll get there.
We'll get there.
But if you are interested in reaching out to us and us hopefully reaching back at some point, you can reach us at our social channels. Instagram is at We Read Books Pod. TikTok is at We Read Books Pod. And our email is wereadbookspod23@gmail.com.
Yes, it is. And we will respond to all your emails. Unless there's a huge influx, then I don't know.
Right.
Sorry. You might get lost in the cracks.
Right. We're not trying to make false promises. We're going to do our best, though.
Yes.
But that's where we'll leave.
We like to keep the expectations realistic.
Yes.
I don't think we introduced ourselves. That is Whitney.
And that is Maddie.
Oh.
Yeah. We're not rusty or anything. It hasn't been a few weeks since we recorded.
Yeah. When was the last time we recorded?
At least a month ago.
It's definitely been a month.
And it's been a month. It feels like it's flown by.
It has been so quick.
Busyness.
Yeah. But we're here now.
Yep.
We're back.
Yes. And just a little business before we get into the book that we've read. I want to correct myself. And I don't even know if any of you notice or give two rips. But I'm going to correct myself anyway. I don't even remember who I was speaking about, but I said that someone had joie de vivre, which is, like a lust for life, which isn't inaccurate, but the word I was really looking for was je ne sais quoi, which is like a undescribable quality, like an attractive quality, so that's what I was aiming for and just missed it, but you probably didn't notice or care. Maybe you did, and I'm fixing it for your brain, so either way, now you have that.
Yeah, and that's your French lesson for the day. Both are just like very cool French phrases.
Yeah.
So
fun and learning.
Yay.
What?
That's what you come here for.
Yeah.
An education.
Oh no.
So I guess getting into our topic this week, this is a real change of pace for us thus far. We did 2 fantasies in a row.
Can you blame us?
No. Honestly, most of the shit we're going to do is probably fantasy. Let's be honest.
That's where my heart lies.
Me too. If I'm like craving something, but I don't know what I want to read, I'm just like, well, let's just pick a fantasy.
Yep.
It's going to hit always.
Yep.
So why not? But we did a YA romance for this one.
Ooey, ooey.
I didn't even read romance when I was a YA.
Yeah, I didn't either. I was more like fantasy and thriller, mystery. Those were really the things that I aimed towards.
I had a real phase where I would read like drug books. There was one called Smack that I really liked. I think it was about 2 heroin addicts in England. They were like teenagers. And they didn't live in London. I think they may have lived in Manchester. I don't remember. But the book is called Smack and is about heroin.
I read a book called Cut, which is about cutting. It's a very short, small book. And that wasn't something that I did, but
I knew a lot of people who did that. Yeah,
and it was just kind of interesting to read it to hear it from that perspective of the character themselves obviously did cutting. So, I just think that, that's a big thing that reading does, right? It puts you in the situation of people that, or in situations that you normally yourself wouldn't necessarily be in, or it could be one that you have been in, and then you can kind of have an outlet to experience something in a safe way or whatever. But I do think that kind of stuff can be interesting to get different perspectives or just kind of help you deal with stuff. But it's been so long, I don't remember how it ended, but I want to say it dealt with it and also like seeking help for it. But again, I don't remember. But I'm thinking of young me, that was quite a bold choice. But you just hope books like that are a warning and maybe deter people from falling down that path.
Yeah. I think a lot of those like writers set out to like write books like that. Like
they want to touch on kind of
the adolescent plight.
Kind of. And controversial, hard topics.
Yeah, I think that is what, I don't know now, like new YA that's coming out now, obviously I don't know, but when I was in high school, that was a real theme. Yeah. Was like books coming out to show like the underbelly. Of something like heroin that's really glamorized. Meth isn't really glamorized, but heroin is. It's like the drug of like movie stars and rock stars. It's heroin, so.
Gosh. No, thank you.
I agree.
Lesson for the day, say no to drugs.
Say no to drugs, kids.
Yeah.
That's how Philip Seymour Hoffman died. Heroin overdose.
Oh, that's right.
And Heath Ledger, he was on prescription medication.
It's just sad. But it just brings sadness.
It's
you guys.
So sad.
Sadness. But this book is not sad.
Not sad.
It's quite delightful. A palate cleanser, if you will. It's just nice. It has, not to say that it's devoid of any turmoil, because there definitely is some, but nothing deep, dark, and cutting. It's
rather light.
Yes, it's light. It's not gonna snap your heart in half or anything like that.
It's like really heartwarming and precious.
Yeah.
So it is The Love Match by Priyanka Taslim.
Woohoo!
So I guess some info about the novel. We don't have a ton of info about it because it's brand spanking new. Didn't realize that when we picked it, honestly.
No, yeah.
It was published January 3rd, 2023. This is her debut novel. So congrats to Priyanka.
Yeah, congratulations.
That's amazing. And we don't have any stats to report on like the book that we would generally do in this part of the ep, but I mean, I think the Goodreads reviews all seem pretty positive, so I anticipate that the book will do well.
Yeah, and hopefully anything else she writes after this will also do well.
We're going to keep our eye on Priyanka.
Yeah.
See what she has coming out in the coming years. Since this one just came out, I wouldn't anticipate another book from her for a year or two. Yeah. But you never know.
Yeah.
So.
Great.
Oh.
Well, let's jump into the different characters. So we've got Zara, who is our main gal.
Yep.
And then we've got Haroon. And then we've got his parents, or his mom, Pushpita Kala. His dad's in there, but we don't really talk to his dad.
I think there's like one scene where his dad is...
He's around. We just don't focus on him.
Yeah, he's not a focus.
And then we've got a cousin, Sami Afa, and Hanif. And then we have Mr. Tahir, who is Zara's boss at Chai Ho. Mm-hmm. It's a restaurant where she works with her friends and Mr. Tahir's daughters, Danny and Dahlia. They are twins. And then we have Jimena, who is Danny's girlfriend. And then we have Zainab, which is Zara's mom. We've got Nanu, who is Zara's grandmother. We've got Resna and Arif, who are Zara's brother and sister, younger brother and sister. And then we have Niam, who is one of the love interests. I think I just said Haroon's name before. He is also
one of the
love interests.
Yeah.
Just Haroon.
Haroon.
You don't need to know anything about him. Just let me tell you all about his family, though.
Oh, Haroon.
I'm sorry, Haroon.
And our very short one-line synopsis. I love a one-line synopsis. Hardworking young Bangladeshi teen Zara Khan is torn between her true dreams of becoming a writer, her mother's expectations, and her responsibility to her family.
I wrote that myself because I didn't know how to pare down the...
It's short
the
and
synopsis
succinct.
on the back of the book. So I was like, this is what I experienced from reading it.
I like it.
Brief.
It's succinct.
Yes. Thank you.
It's a gift to be able to write something succinctly like that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Ben. I'm blushing over here. We actually kind of have quite a lot of major plot points.
Yes, and the book's not really that long. I mean, it's like a general book.
But it snaps along. Like,
it does.
I don't feel like you sit and stew in something for a long while. And in some books, you do want to sit and stew. But this one, I think it's paced really well. So we won't really need to probably sit and discuss a whole lot of parts. There will be some major ones, but we'll probably just clip through a lot of the major plot points.
I agree.
A lot goes on.
And a lot of it is really like to see like Zara's family dynamic.
Yeah.
So like the opening.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. So first we'll open the novel with a wedding.
But not Zara's wedding.
Not Zara's wedding. Zara's 18. Just so Zara, Danny, Dahlia, and Jimena all recently graduated. And Haroon.
Oh, yeah.
All of them have recently graduated high school. So they're all like 18 years old, looking forward to college. That's like their...
It's summer break.
Summer break. Summer loving. Oh.
Perfect.
So... when you listen to that song now, it's kind of gross.
It is.
You don't think about it whenever you're just like watching Grease.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh.
And you're like, oh, ew, you guys.
You got down in the grass.
Right.
Gross. No, you didn't, you liar.
Luckily, this book is not like Grease.
No, this book is very wholesome.
Right. But yeah.
Nice and refreshing.
Yes, absolutely. But we're at a wedding, and Zara is with her mother, and they get put at a table with Pushpita Kala.
Mm-hmm. They do. And wouldn't you know, Pushpita Kala is just talking about her good old son Haroon. So Zara's family, interestingly, is considered like Bangladeshi royalty, kind of. So Zara could maybe be considered like a princess in Bangladesh, but her family's not wealthy.
Right. Is it just based on, like, family lineage?
I think so.
Yeah.
Like family lineage from Bangladesh.
Right.
Even though now they live in New Jersey. So it's, like their lineage is
royalty.
Yeah.
Which just adds to their social status. They're not like hoity-toity, snotty, high status. It's just people know of their family lineage. And it just kind of adds to people's respect for them.
Yeah, they're like a respectable family and all of that. Like tradition and all of that. They just, they don't have money.
You're right.
So that's one of Zara's, like, plights.
Yeah.
Is, like, working to take care of her family.
Right.
We just we see Zara and her mom meet Pushpita Kala. And they also, in this opening, I think, talk about, like, the difference between, like, a love match and, like, I don't know what they call the other type of match. Like, just, like, an arranged marriage. So, like, arranged marriage that's for, like, family, like, bringing together two different families or whatever the reason might be. And then there's, like, the love match.
Right. Which is a pretty self-explanatory, you know, you have two people getting married because they love each other, not because it's a blending of families.
Yeah.
I feel like to say for the benefit of each family sounds weird, but I mean, it really is. It's just to, you know, just to give them a match and to let their future start.
Right. And I think that's what kind of we see with Haroon's family and Zara's family. Like, Zara's family has the respectability, the long lineage, and then Haroon's family has money.
Yes.
But they're not, like, as, like, respectable in the social hierarchy.
Yeah, which I thought was so crazy because, I mean, they're nothing but nice and...
Yeah, they're so nice.
Lovely, but Pushpita is described as kind of eccentric, just with her jewelry and her exuberant personality, but I just, the whole time I was just like, oh...
Yeah, I really...
Give her a chance!
I know. I really enjoyed all of Haroon's family.
Yeah, me too.
It's just very pleasant.
Yes.
But, so that's kind of like where we are at the beginning.
Yeah. And then after the wedding is over, then we go back to Zara's home. And that's when we get more detail about the fact that Zara's father died. Was it semi-recently?
I think it's like 2 years prior to the events of the book.
I mean, it's been a bit, but not long enough for the sting of it to be gone.
Yeah.
But so that is part of why they are in such dire financial straits. You know, it's a single mom taking care of 3 kids, so Zara works to help support the family as well.
They all live in, I think it's a 2-bedroom apartment in New Jersey.
Might be. And
it's Zara, her mom, her 2 siblings, and her grandmother.
Yeah.
All 5 of them living in this apartment. So Zara shares a room with her grandma.
Yeah.
Which I think is really cute.
Yeah, it is. And then the living room kind of doubles as Zara's mom's work area.
Yeah.
I keep calling her Zara's mom, but her name's Zainab. She is a seamstress?
Yeah, she makes clothes.
Yeah. And we can get into it in a little more detail as the story unfolds.
Yeah, but she makes all of Zara's like traditional clothing.
Yeah.
Like when they like at the wedding and stuff. Whenever Zara has to wear like traditional Bangladeshi attire, Zainab makes all of her stuff.
Yeah.
And I would assume she makes all the stuff for Resna as well.
Yeah.
It's just not like ever fully stated. I don't
Resna's still pretty young.
Yeah,
so.
she's like an actual kid.
Yeah. So after the scene at the house, we kind of clip along and we see Zara at work with her friends, Danny and Dahlia. You know, we just kind of see where she works and the dynamic there. Mr. Tahir is stern, you know, that kind of like hard on the outside, but you get the sense that he's got a little soft spot on the inside.
Yeah.
He just doesn't show it very much.
Yeah. Yeah. I at first, like at the beginning, when you first meet Mr. Tahir, I was like, is this guy, what is he, what role is he playing here? But in the end of by the time you get like the middle and the end of the book, he's a good guy.
Yeah, yeah.
He like treats Zara well.
Yeah, he's just more of a stern father figure than like a mushy gushy one.
Yeah,
know?
Yeah.
He's very rigid, but still
cares.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, we meet Danny and Dahlia, and do we meet Jimena there?
I can't remember if Jimena is there or not, but she always pops in and out. Yeah, no, she doesn't. I don't think she works there. She just helps out occasionally, but mostly just is there because they're all really good friends. Yeah,
all four of them. So Danny and Dahlia are twins, and I think Danny wears her hair in fashion colors, and Dahlia wears the hijab.
See, and I don't even remember all the details about the twins. I know that they're different, but it's been long enough, and I've read 2 books since this one, so like some of the smaller details have left my brain. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, one of the things that I didn't realize, and maybe, I'm not Muslim, so I obviously don't know the ins and outs of how that goes, but the way that Dahlia is written is that she made the decision to wear hijab, whereas like Danny doesn't wear one, and Zara also doesn't wear one.
Right.
Even though both of them are also Muslim. So I found that really interesting. I didn't realize it was something that you chose. Maybe that's like an American thing, or maybe it's across like nations who practice Islam. That would be something that I would be interested in looking up.
I thought it was interesting too, Zara's mom, like at first being I don't know about uncomfortable with her working there, but because Mr. Tahir's family is from a different...
they're from Pakistan.
Yeah, whereas they're from Bangladesh, and I guess there was like I don't know that she called it like a civil... But there was like
some sort of like altercation.
Yeah, between the two countries. So I thought that was interesting. Just the little sprinkled bits of historical and cultural information was nice. Like, the author actually at the beginning of the book even said, I'm not going to explain everything to you.
Yeah.
Because that's part of it. If you want to learn about the culture of these characters, I want you to take it upon yourself to go look those things up.
Yeah.
But she still does put certain things in the story that kind of still give you some context and like information.
Yeah.
Which was really cool to experience.
Yeah, she definitely just like drops you in to this community, and pretty much all of the characters that you interact with in the book are Bangladeshi or the Tahirs, and they're Pakistani. Jimena is not, though.
Right.
She is...
I think she's Hispanic.
I think she is. Yeah, I think she's Hispanic. But either way, I thought that was like full immersion.
Yeah.
That was a really cool part of the book, because you're just expected to either know or figure out what all of this stuff is, which I enjoy because I'll look it up.
Yeah.
Some people might not, which I think is kind of shit, but if you don't
you can enjoy the story even if you decide not to, but you're going to obviously have a deeper understanding of it if you do.
Yeah, because the thing, like, the parts that, this is set in the U.S., modern times. It's not like so far out of context where you're not going to understand. You're going to understand what all of this stuff is.
Yeah.
It just, if you look it up, you'll know, like, you'll have more of a picture of what it is. Like, the different garb that they wear and the food. Just cool.
And just, like, the different gatherings and how they're culturally different and stuff like that.
Exactly.
After we leave work, Zara goes home, and for some reason, Mom's, like, shoving her into this really pretty outfit.
Yeah.
And telling her that they're going to go out for dinner, which Zara's a little suspicious. It's like, hey, we don't have a lot of money. Like, we never go out to eat. You don't pay for dinner when we can make something at home.
Yeah.
What's up? And she's like, oh, did she say it was like in celebration of her graduation, or just try to kind of play it off?
She tries
like,
to play it off, yeah.
Like, oh yeah, we're just going to celebrate you.
We're just going to go to this really nice place that we don't have any money for, and it'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be no big deal. Don't worry about it. I know you contribute to the household funds, but
it'll be fine.
It'll be fine. Oh, lo and behold, guess who owns the restaurant, guys? Pushpita and her husband. Yep. Haroon's parents.
Haroon's parents.
And guess who's already sitting there eating at a table with plenty of room?
Yep, you guessed it. It's Haroon and her family.
Yeah. And they invite Zara, her mom. I think, does Nanu go? Or is it just mom and the two kids?
I think it's just the mom and the kids.
Okay. I say two kids. I guess there's three. Zara is still a kid, but
yeah, I don't think Nanu is there.
Yeah. Haroon and Zara figure out pretty quick what's going on.
They're like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Haroon is pretty standoffish and a little
incredibly.
He's seems a little like irritated.
Cold,
yeah.
A little bit.
And even though he is like shy as a character, he also I think he probably assumes that the reason why that Zara and fam want to like set him up with Zara is for the money. He's like, this girl just wants my Skriller.
Right. And my mom's just trying to get me married.
Yeah, exactly. To a family who's really respectable. Because I think it seems like he already knows the Khan name.
Probably.
I mean, he calls her princess.
Right. I don't know if he calls her princess then, but he definitely does. Eventually.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, so they have dinner and it's unpleasant, though. Zara does not, I mean, in her head at least, she, will at least recognize that Haroon is attractive.
Yeah, he's a hottie.
But too bad he's a wet blanket in personality, at least right now.
And she's trying to be pleasant.
She is trying to be polite.
She has no interest in, like, this setup, but she's at least trying to play it cool. Yeah. Like,
he's not trying at all.
Not trying at all.
So that night does not end well for Zara and Zainab at all.
No. But, yeah, they end up in a fight. But Nanu kind of, like, settles the fight.
Yes, yeah.
She and Zara end up having, like, a chat.
Yeah. Is that when she tells her about her grandfather?
Yeah, I think so.
I thought it was so sweet, just the way she talked about it, because I think for her it was an arranged marriage. Mm-hmm. But she talks about how they were truly a team. Mm-hmm. Because Zara was like, did you love him? And she was like, well, we worked with each other to make our home good. We laughed at these types of things. We, cried together, during hard times. We did our best to raise our child after he passed. Mm-hmm. I missed him. And if it wasn't for my daughter, I don't know how I would have gone on living. Is that love? Like, kind of thing. Like, I just thought it was so sweet. And in that, to me, it's like that's when something arranged became intimate and became a form of love, you know?
Yeah.
I thought it was sweet.
I thought it was really sweet too. And I mean, I think I have heard stories of people, because I think a lot of their arranged marriage is not specific to like Middle Eastern culture. Most cultures have some form of arranged marriage, like especially in royal families.
Yeah.
They wanted to marry for gain, political or financial or whatever.
Right.
So,
Right.
you know, almost every culture has had arranged marriage.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, I'm sure that a lot of them end up loving each other in some way, even if it's not like
romantic love, but at least
love.
Like a friendship love.
Yeah. And then back in the day, even like Nanu, I assume, is older. So even whenever she was young, marriage wasn't necessarily, for the woman, wasn't necessarily about love. It was about being able to be secure, because you were not allowed to take care of yourself.
Right. Or not continue to be or become a burden on your family.
Right. I mean, even in the U.S., women weren't able to have their own bank accounts until like 1974. So how in the actual hell are you supposed to do anything if you can't even have a bank account?
Yeah.
Get right out of here. You know what I mean? That's
right out of here.
I mean, it's crazy. I see so much shit, especially on TikTok. I know it's a cesspool, but it's addicting. It's the most addicting cesspool I've ever experienced in my life. But I see so many videos of dudes complaining, like, I just don't understand, blah, blah, blah. Why is it so hard for women? Da, da, da. I'm like, do you realize that there are people alive right now? Well, my grandma had her first child as an adult woman. She still could not have a bank account without my grandpa signing for it.
Wow.
She's alive right now. She couldn't have a bank account. Please come cry to me with your male sorrows.
Well, luckily women are allowed to have bank accounts now, and the women now don't have to know what that particular thing feels like. There are other hardships for all people.
Yes, every demographic of person has their own unique hardships.
But yes,
you know,
very, very glad that is not a thing anymore.
I know. That's what I always struggle with when I think, man, I wish I could time travel back to the day.
Yeah.
1700s, I think, would be where I would pick.
Nice.
But it wouldn't be a good time to be a lady.
Right. Then you think, that's why I'd just be a visit. You wouldn't live there.
I wouldn't stay.
Pop in, pop out.
Yeah. I mean, I would want to wear the clothes. They're so sick.
Let's do it now.
Oh,
Who says we couldn't do it
right.
now?
You're right. People do it all the time.
Yeah. I don't have to have an event to cosplay, okay?
Yeah. Oof. Corset.
I'm not going to tighten it, okay? It'll just be there for looks only.
Yeah. Just for the look.
Right.
Shapewear is bad enough.
Oh my gosh.
It's fine. Once I get it on, I am not super uncomfortable. But the issue is, once you're in it, you wanna ration your liquids, because
you don't have to take it off
and
then put it back on.
Yeah, when you're gonna have to go to the bathroom, you're fully naked. You have to take the dress all the way off, because it's the shorts version.
I didn't think about that.
Or just don't wear the shapewear.
I was going to say, I'm just, too lazy to wear the shapewear.
Why are there so many hoops? Why?
I don't jump through them. I just I say, forget you. I will not be contained.
Yeah. I know. It's a comfort.
Yeah.
There's comfort in having
the security, knowing everything is where it's going to be, and
it's staying there.
Nothing's going to accidentally be seen.
Exactly.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
And if I need to ration liquids, then so be it.
So be it. Speaking of liquids, we're back at the restaurant.
Chai-ho!
Smooth segues.
Yeah, it is like a tea shop kind
Yes,
of thing,
yeah.
which I think is cool. I would go there.
It seemed like they had like a lot of teas and pastries. Did they do regular food as well?
I don't know. Maybe
We mostly focused on the teas and pastries.
Yeah.
I'm sure there was other things,
there
but
could have been other things.
it was making me hungry.
I love a pastry.
So we're back at work. And there's some new guy named Niam.
So we meet
long
hair.
Musician, long hair. Right up my alley. My husband has long hair and is a musician. So.
Dakota had long hair whenever we met. So long curly hair.
Yeah.
So
hey,
it's
a thing.
It's a thing.
But yeah, so he's the new employee of Chai-Ho. You know, there's this character in the book called the Auntie Network, which is not one character, but many. But it's, you know, it's basically your
Women.
crowd of women that know all, see all, and share all with each other. They are, like I said, affectionately called the Auntie Network.
They're like the omnipresent
Yes.
entity.
At least they think that they are. They think they know everything. I feel like 90% of what they know is assumed information and not true fact.
Yeah.
But
they like see things, make inferences and assumptions.
They are a force to be reckoned with, I guarantee you.
They would get like a random little like chapter here and there that was like a page.
Yeah, of them like texting back and forth. It was actually kind of cute and funny.
I really actually liked the Auntie Network, even though they were kind of
catty
nuisance.
Yeah, like some of them I was like, listen, here,
let
Auntie,
them live.
Shut the heck up.
That's right. Quit with your shit talking.
Right. So, but they're all abuzz about this new guy, you know, this new, young, cute, handsome boy. And the rumor is that he is a poor orphan.
Yep.
So, you know,
He's
everyone
kind of... Poor, beautiful orphan.
Poor, beautiful orphan. So everyone kind of takes pity on him. And that's, you know, that's why Mr. Tahir gave him the job.
Mm-hmm. And I think he lives like just next door to Zara.
Oh, yeah.
And he's staying with the imams. I don't know if that's like a religious person.
I just kind of thought of it as like two ladies that were like, or I don't know, people that were part of like the Auntie Network, or at least one of the people he was staying with was like kind of part of the Auntie Network. I just thought it was like a familiar person in the community.
Like
but I wasn't sure.
Person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the word I was looking for. It was not coming to me.
Yeah. So, he's staying with
whoever
this person is, and his window and Zara's window can see each other.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, in their houses?
Yeah. So there's like one scene where he's in his window and she's at her window and they can like see each other.
Oh. See, I don't even remember that. I remember them looking at the little through the window at work at each other.
Oh, yeah,
little order window. Yeah. But I forgot about the house window.
Yeah. We get some innocent flirts.
Yeah. Look at all these things I missed, guys. And I swear I read the book.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it has. It's been a minute.
But
it's been a minute.
So, yeah.
So we get a little meet cute with him and Zara. But...
Oh, yeah, because they literally break a shit ton of dishes.
Yeah.
So she's like coming in the door and he's trying to like out the door, and they just
kaboom, and then like, you know,
fall on the ground. She's laying on him.
Right.
Dishes are everywhere.
Right.
And Mr. Tahir is like,
get it together.
Damn.
And you owe me for some broken dishes.
You broke my shit. Pissed.
Right. But nothing really crazy happened. Just, you know, they meet and they notice each other. And, you know, I don't know about sparks, but
there's
some twinkles.
The interest.
The interest is sparked.
Because Zara is also very beautiful.
Yes. Yeah.
So I don't know if we, like, it doesn't really matter. She's our protagonist. Right. But she's very beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. So then we skip to a second meeting with Haroon and his family.
Yep. They go to so Haroon's family's name is Ammon. So they go to the Ammon house.
Yes.
For the second gathering or date, if you will. It's not an official date yet, though.
Not official.
And, it's awkward. The house is giant because the Ammons are rich.
Yeah.
And,
Haroon is still just as cold and disinterested as he was last time.
yeah. And Zara and Haroon take the tour. He gives her the tour as suggested by their parents. Mm-hmm. And she sees the library and she's like, oh my God, the books. Because she's like a writer or wants to be a writer.
Yep. She loves Pride and Prejudice. Can't fault her for that.
Can't fault her for that. And then she sees Haroon's room and meets his bearded dragon.
Yeah. Does she see a picture of him with his shirt off or something?
She does.
Or his soccer outfit or something.
His diving outfit. He's a diver.
Yeah. And she's just like, whoop, whoop.
Her swimming outfit.
Too bad he's a jerk, though.
Yeah.
But she's like, whoo.
Damn.
He's good looking, but
got
that personality.
Got a bod going. Yeah. So she was like, I would swoon if he wasn't such an asshole to me.
Right. And through, I don't know, minimal conversation, they finally kind of are like, yeah, this isn't going to happen. I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Neither am I.
Yeah. And I think he is really the one who says it first. He's like, listen, this isn't going to happen, right?
Right.
And I think he thought she was at least going along with it.
Yeah.
Until she's like, no, listen, I don't want to be married either.
Right.
I'm not trying to.
Least of all to you, jerk.
Yeah. So I think that kind of like shows him like she's not out here trying to get his money.
Right. But even though they agree kind of amongst themselves, they both lose the nerve to tell their parents like, yeah, this isn't happening.
Right.
So I don't know, I want to say they kind of go along with it or at least agree to kind of go with the flow for a little bit. But that's when their friendship starts to spark a little bit. They have a little bit of banter.
Mm-hmm. They are like texting.
Yeah, she calls him Robot Boy and he calls her Princess.
Yeah.
So they start to kind of warm to each other once the expectation, at least from each other, has gone away. There's still a pretty heavy expectation from the parents.
Which
and the family.
Yeah, they fully expected the family to have those expectations, but at least now they know that both of them are on the same page.
Right. And I think that makes it easier for them to be more comfortable with each other.
Right.
And it's just sort of like an agreement like, yeah, okay, we're going to quote unquote date, but we're going to slowly make this a disaster and prove to our parents that this is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
And they call it the 8 Dates of Summer.
Yeah. Which I feel like it would be the title of a movie.
Right.
If this was made into a movie, they could title it the 8 Dates of Summer.
But too bad they don't even make it to...
Right.
I think they make it to, what, 3?
I think 3.
Not even halfway.
Not even half. Come on, guys.
Spoiler alert.
I did think that his names for her were a little more clever than her names for him. I thought Robot Boy was really generic.
Yeah, but he did just kind of act just dull and disinterested. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he called her Princess, and then later on when she gets a little more stern, he calls her General.
Yeah, I thought General was really funny.
Yeah, I liked that one a lot.
Like, she's like she's scheming, making plans.
Yes. And recognizing her cunning, I liked him.
Yeah, I liked General a lot. I did think that Priyanka could have come up with a cooler nickname than Robot Boy. Yeah. Didn't love it, huh? But it felt very YA. This whole, scheme of theirs reads very YA to me. Yes, of course some teenagers would think that this would work.
Right.
As an adult, you're like, nah.
No, just always, just be honest. Just don't play games.
Don't play the games because it's always going to backfire.
Yes.
It felt very like the romantic version of like the Parent Trap, right?
I was going to say that before, like a reverse Parent Trap.
Yeah.
Was their plan.
That's exactly what it was giving for me.
Our brains, guys. This is why we work so well together.
Yeah. Yep. But I mean, yeah, from this point, their relationship is really cute.
Yeah.
I really like it.
Yeah. They just have a nice friendship with each other and getting to know each other as people and not as possible suitors. So it's nice. Yeah. It's very nice.
And I do think that there's like an advantage to, I think it's what separates how Niam and Zara are with each other as opposed to Haroon and Zara, because Haroon and Zara seem to have an agreement like we're not interested in a romantic relationship, so it takes that sort of pressure off, so that it's easier for them to be open with each other and honest, and just kind of like be themselves. Whereas Niam and Zara, the romantic aspect makes them you always kind of have a little bit of a front, especially like when you first meet someone.
Right, you're always putting your best foot forward.
Yeah.
But isn't just you saying those two things together, like, doesn't that sound ridiculous?
Of course.
Like, if you really like someone and if someone is going to, or if you're going to assess if someone really likes you, like, isn't it the most beneficial to just be yourself? Like, I get that it's scary to go, hey, if they don't like me for me, then who cares?
Yeah.
Then they're not meant to be for me, but I think human beings were just not built that way. Like, most of us care what other people think, and you know, but I do think that it is kind of crazy. It's like, ooh, I'm attracted to them, I'm going to show them the best parts of myself, which we all want to be our best selves, but I do think that the best romantic relationships are born out of just being genuinely yourself,
right?
And friendship, and
yeah, of course.
And I don't know, the quirks are what I love most about the people that I love. So
yeah.
you know.
And I think that's probably why most people are not with the person that they were with as a teenager.
Right.
Because your ideas of what you're supposed to be in a relationship are different whenever you're a teen as opposed to an adult.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay. So.
We do kind of bounce around, like, from this person's house to work to home to work. So, and maybe it's just, maybe it flows a little better in the book, but it does feel like but it doesn't feel jarring. It's just, okay, next scene.
It's snappy.
Yes.
It's not jarring.
Yes. Agreed. Agreed.
Yeah. So.
I think we're back at Chai Ho.
We're back at Chai Ho.
And, regular work day. But then after work, Niam and Zara, he walks her home from work. And they kind of bond with each other and discuss just their lives and stuff. And they kind of realize that they're fairly alike. You know, they bond, or at least Zara feels like she bonds with Niam because of their shared experience of losing family members, because he tells her that he's lost family to death as well, just like she has with her father. So that definitely bonds her to him.
Yeah. And I think that specific thing makes her feel like she can talk to Niam. Yeah. Because she doesn't really feel like she can talk about her dad with her family because they're all like dealing with the grief too.
Right. And it's just something traumatizing like that, you know, when someone else has that same trauma, it kind of links you together in a way, you know, so it's kind of, it's an emotional lifeline that she attaches to him. Yeah. And also that he's an orphan and doesn't, and he doesn't have a lot of money. Like, you know, he's in a similar financial situation as her, in the sense that it's like he's working hard to be able to afford his dreams, which his dream is to open a guitar, I almost said restaurant. No. A guitar store where he can sell guitars and also teach people to play. Yeah. And also, he's in the arts. She loves to write. So I think we said that in the synopsis, but we haven't really talked about that in the plot yet so far, but she's kind of had a hiatus from writing since her father passed.
Right. She like had a novel in the works that she'd been like neglecting and not writing. And she's also really smart as well. I don't think we mentioned that either, but her dream school is Columbia, and she got accepted to Columbia.
But she deferred.
But she cannot attend because she can't afford the tuition.
Right, and she wants to be able to help the family for at least another year, if if not question mark. She just doesn't know. But so over that tremendous loss, plus them both being kind of artsy minded people, I that kind of starts to strengthen their attraction and a bond between each other.
Right. So at this point, Zara's like, okay, I'm into Niam. And then, so this is when she texts Haroon and she's like, hey, we've got to make a plan to get this over with.
Yeah.
So I guess their parents are like, you're going to date this summer or whatever.
Yeah.
And every Friday, they go on a date.
Yeah.
That's what they're supposed to be doing. Yeah. And so their agreement between Zara and Haroon is that they're just going to act a fool.
On these dates.
Yeah. And hopefully their parents will realize, like, these two are not meant to be together.
Right.
They are not a
certainly not a love match, and they're not a agreeable match either.
Right.
So bad date number 1. We go to a movie, and there is a cousin chaperone, Hanif. I think that's how you say it.
I think Hanif, yeah.
I for this book, I read some physically, and then I also listened to the audiobook while I was at work because I wanted to know what happened next. So I just kind of kept it. I just kept bouncing back and forth, and I can't remember. I think that part of the book I didn't listen to the audiobook, so I just wanted to make sure that I said it correctly. So yeah, and it's not a great date. Hanif is kind of
he's kind of
rude anyway, and
very exacting.
Yeah,
judgmental.
But Zara pretends like oh well, yeah, you can pay for it. You're rich, and just trying to seem like such a snob, and then Haroon's trying to be rude right back, and it's a bad date, but that's a good thing. They wanted it to be.
They wanted it to be a bad date,
but
that's bad date number 1.
Yes.
And it's at this point in the book also that Zainab, who is mostly referred to as Amma in the book.
Yeah.
She gets commissioned to do the wedding clothes for this bride, a traditional like Bangladeshi bridal attire.
Yes. Her name's they refer to her as Bride Zolad. But for the first little bit, I was like, is she saying Bridezilla? Which the Bride Zolad is a Bridezilla to the max.
I think those are like, they mean the same thing.
Yeah.
So this is a very like demanding client, and essentially she's commissioned Zainab to make all of her bridal clothes for her wedding, but she's not paying her up front.
Yeah, she expects the clothes to be made, the fabric to be purchased, and then she will pay for it afterward. I think she made a small deposit. But not because Zainab wouldn't have asked for it. This woman is just so high on her horse that she thinks it's not necessary. And Zainab is too, I guess, proud, but not in like the worst of ways. Just, she doesn't necessarily want to air all her financial dirty laundry to everybody. So she just kind of reluctantly is like, okay, yeah, I'll do it without a big down payment.
Yeah, exactly. So I think she needs like a couple $1,000s to get materials to get started. And this job is a big deal for Zainab and for their family, because if this goes well, then she'll likely get, 1, this job is supposed to pay really well. 2, then it could really get her name out there and she could start getting more work than she's already got. So she has to reluctantly, I can't remember if she asks
or if Zara offers it. But basically, Zara ends up having to, and not having to, doesn't want to because she wants it for herself, but wants to because she wants to help the family and she sees that they need it. So she gives her mom her college money, or a big chunk of her college money to be able to afford to start this job for this awful woman.
Yeah, and I don't think that Zainab asked.
I don't think so either.
Thinking back to the scene, I think she was telling Zara, and I think she says something like she will just turn down the job because there's no way for them to pay for it, and that's when Zara's like, I have to give you this money.
Right.
So it's most of her money that she saved.
Yeah.
So it's to cover a couple bills and the materials for the job, which it sucks for sure.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
For her, that's like a chunk of her freedom in her future.
Yeah, huge amount of money. But she's looking at the long term.
Right.
And hoping that, I think the wedding is supposed to occur at like the end of the summer.
Yeah.
So she's like loaning this out for a short term period.
Yeah. Yeah. Her mom fully intends to pay her back once the job is complete and the jerk bride pays her.
Yeah. And this bride was recommended to Zainab by Pushpita Kala.
Yeah. And Pushpita did it fully with the intention of helping Zainab, not...
Yeah. She had no idea that she wasn't going to like pay her properly.
Yeah. No. Pushpita is truly just... She really is a sweet character. She has the best intentions.
She really does.
Yeah.
And it does end up being really good for the family eventually.
It's just a struggle at first.
Yeah, there's some strife at the beginning.
Yes. And we're back at the restaurant.
Now we're back. We spend a lot of time at Chai Ho here.
Yeah, we do.
I like.
Yeah, I do too.
That's where we get to see Zara interact with like her friends. Most of her interactions with her friends are there. And I think you get a better idea of who Zara is when she's with her friends.
Yeah, because she's more herself.
Yeah, which is she's not burdened with the cares of like the fam.
Right.
When she's at home.
Yeah. And her internal dialogue, like with her relationship with her mother, just makes me sad because she feels very misunderstood and possibly even stifled. And I don't feel like Zainab actively is shown stifling her, but it's more so just the air of expectation that she puts out there just makes Zara feel like she has to hide her dreams.
Yeah, because Zara just wants to be a writer. She doesn't, in the beginning of the book it's mentioned like for Bangladeshi kids, it's like you are going to be a doctor, you're going to be an engineer, like those are basically your options. And she wants to be a writer. She doesn't like math. Yeah. And so she feels like her mom doesn't think being a writer is going to be a financially viable career. Right. And so it's not worth pursuing. Right. Which, I mean, it does suck to feel like your parents don't believe in what you want. Right.
But and that's, I had to think about it, like, and maybe her mom did say some things, but I feel like a lot of that negative is just her perception. I agree. She's afraid to tell her mom about her dreams, so they never really have a full-on conversation. Yeah. Not never, but up to this point.
Right. And I think that Zara hasn't ever really communicated to Zainab how much she wants to be a writer.
That like, it's not just a hobby. It's a thing she really wants to do.
She's serious about it.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, what kid isn't afraid to
disappoint their parents?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And share their dreams, like that's pretty vulnerable.
So. I know. I mean, it's a real thing. You know, a part of the reason why I went to law school was just because, I mean, it sounds impressive when you say it. Yeah. And, like, my dad really wanted me to be a lawyer.
Yeah.
So.
And then you went, not for me.
Yeah, I don't want to fight every day for the rest of my life.
No, I hate fighting.
It sucks. I mean, I liked law school, though.
Yeah.
I mean...
You just love education, which I admire a lot.
Yeah. It took me a lot of, like... it took me several months to sort out, do I like law school because I want to study the law? Or do I like law school because I'm just, like, learning something?
Right.
So I had to figure that out.
Yeah.
But I never, like, regretted it.
Yeah, good. I'm really glad.
So Ziam.
That's their relationship name.
Yeah.
Ziam.
So Niam and Zara are working at the restaurant alone. Mm-hmm. And Niam plays his guitar for her. And she starts writing again. Yeah. And she's like, what a wonder having a good muse does for my creative brain.
Yeah, he inspires her.
I don't think I've ever had, like, my writing self kick in based on a person.
Yeah, I don't think I used to write poetry and stuff, and usually that was just based on things I was feeling, but not ever like a specific person. Yeah. Just my life in general.
Yeah. I mean, writing is weird like that, I guess. I don't know.
But I can't relate to that. You hear about that in literature and just in life, but yeah, I can't relate to that feeling of having a muse.
Me either. But, I usually am more inspired by other things that I'm reading.
Yeah.
Or like songs.
Yeah.
Heavily songs.
Yes.
But
lyrics are powerful.
Yeah.
And even the music itself.
Yeah.
But it's great stuff.
Never a person.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah.
So then we get to bad date number 2. Mm-hmm. They go to TGIF's.
Yeah.
Which is that restaurant still a thing? There used to be one in Independence, I think.
Yeah, I think TGIF is still a thing. If it's not, rest in peace. But I
don't think I've ever been there.
It's a cool atmosphere. I mean, it's like a 54th Street kind of.
I love 54th Street.
So good.
Their Chipotle Ranch. Oh, get out of town.
Get out of town.
So good.
Or get into town and go get some.
Yeah.
It's good.
You know what? You're right. They're probably closed now.
Yeah. I did not know that TGIF did karaoke, though.
Me either.
So they go on this, I put it in quotes, quote unquote, bad date, because this one's not so bad.
Yeah. And so this time their chaperone is not Hanif.
Yeah, thanks.
Another cousin named Sammy.
Mm-hmm. And she's a delight.
She's so cool.
I like her.
And she's just charming and sweet and
relaxed
and
encouraging.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I liked her. I thought the interaction was really nice. And they just get to have a good time, and they grow to like and understand each other even better.
Yeah.
And they bond and become better friends. So yeah, I really liked this scene, and it just kind of solidified their friendship, and I was just like, Sammy is the bomb.com.
She definitely is. And Zara and Harun actually do karaoke together, which is funny.
Yeah.
Because they sing poorly.
Yeah. He strikes me as someone who would not do karaoke, so the fact that he
broke out of his shell
did it.
A little bit.
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
It was nice. He got into it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I don't know which one of us wrote that Sammy is giving more from Akatar.
I think it was you.
Was it me?
Yeah. And then I put, ha, yes.
Yeah.
Because she does, yes. Yeah. That family member that knows you better than you know yourself and, sees what's going on and is just, encouraging but very subtly, you know?
And, the instant friend. She's instantly, bonding with Zara and chatting. I feel like that's kind of
kind and caring off the bat.
Yeah, more does that to Feyre.
She does.
Which is very precious.
I like her.
You know what really brings that book down is that all the side characters are so much better than the mains. You can't do that.
Yeah. I really do like all of them, but I really enjoy the side characters.
I just care so much more about them.
Yeah.
I'm just I don't really care about you. I'm sorry.
Poor Farah. And...
She's so boring. She's so boring. Sorry. I'm sorry to all the ACOTAR girlies out there. I know there are many.
They're probably more worried about the three boys anyway.
Oh, that's true. That's hella true.
They're like, don't be sorry.
Yeah, they're probably, she is boring.
Yeah. I didn't really notice it until the synopsis, but we really do kind of bounce back and forth between, like, Niam, Haroon. Haroon.
Yeah. It's true. We get a Niam scene, we get a Haroon scene. Yeah. It's very, like, you can have this or this.
And, like, each one of them is growing in a different way.
Yeah.
But, so, now we're having, I don't know, I don't even know if you'd call this a date, but now we're having a romantic moment with Niam.
Yep.
Where he takes Zara on a picnic. Is it after work?
Yeah, I think it's like after work.
Yeah.
And
maybe amidst their walk home or something, they kind of take a little picnic detour and they kiss.
They kiss.
Naughty. Because
so bad.
Especially in this type of situation. One, Zara's dating Haroon.
Yeah.
As far as, like, everyone else is concerned. Mm-hmm. And two, they're meant to be chaperones, and there's certainly not meant to be any kissing or physical touching like that.
Yeah. It is strictly forbidden.
That's a no.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it's very, like, the culture that they're in is very, like, specific rules about dating and it's all very official, and her sneaking off with Niam and then kissing Niam.
I mean, and then she even has, like, this inner dialogue of, like, doesn't he know he's dooming both of our souls? I'm just like, oh my God. And
so scandalous.
Yeah, and for some reason, this scene, I can't explain it, but this is the scene that made me go, I don't trust you, Niam.
Yeah.
There was something, he wasn't necessarily sly or... He didn't do anything wrong. This is the scene that I was like, I don't know about you, sir. Yeah. I don't know.
There was always an element about Niam that I didn't trust.
That it felt false. It feels put on.
It definitely feels like a facade.
Yeah, you want to believe it's genuine, but you just feel like there's something missing.
Yeah, and I think maybe that there's some strategy there.
Yeah.
With the way that Priyanka Taslim wrote it, like she's showing you this scene of Zara and Haroon doing karaoke. They're kind of being embarrassing, but they're together, so they're like supporting each other. Yeah. And Sammy, and she's, it's family. It's like a really wholesome way for them to, like, get to know each other and enjoy each other's company. And then you have Niam, who she's hiding Niam because her family's not going to agree, and he's mysterious. She doesn't know basically anything about him, and both of them know that a part of their culture is not going to support them not having a chaperone, them kissing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, there's just an element of distrust that comes up.
Yeah. But so someone must spot them because this sets off the Auntie Network.
Yes.
Hardcore.
They're seen. That omnipresence.
Yes.
Catches them.
They are always watching.
Always.
And then we kind of take a pivot in the story.
Yeah.
Zara actually visits a community college and meets a lit professor who offers to read her book. Mm-hmm. I can't remember how this comes about. Like, does she read about the professor, or do they touch base, like, online first or something? Or does she just decide to go to kind of see what could be awaiting her when she does go?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the college is having an open house.
Yeah.
And so she goes and she's, like, standing outside of it.
Yeah.
And is kind of, like, nervous. And then she runs into this professor.
That's right. Yeah. And she's a writer or a professor that she recognizes. So
they start talking, and then she goes and watches the professor give, like, a presentation about the English department, and then they, like, chat.
Yeah, and then so she offers to read her book, so that's a little opportunity there for her, for her writing.
So, like, Zara, like, gets together, she gathers what she's already written, kind of like an outline of what's coming up, and she sends it out.
Yep.
Which is, I mean, a big deal.
Yeah, good opportunity.
A lit professor might not be able to help you get published.
Yeah, but she can help her hone her skill.
But she can help her, get better.
And that's a big deal.
Yeah.
So then we go back to Zaim, or however you said it earlier, Zara and Naim, to meet her ama, her mom, and her nanu. Yeah. It does not end well, but
yeah.
I'll let you talk about the interesting part.
Yes. Well, should we save that? It kind of like spoils the twist. Yes. We can come back to that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have like an interesting little part about this, but it gives away the ending. So the meeting between Naim and Zara's mom is, I mean, she's not like rude to him.
No.
They like, he comes in, they have like some food.
Yeah.
And it's fine.
Yeah.
And then he leaves.
Yeah.
And Zara's like, well, that went better than expected. But then once he's gone, Zainab is like, nah. It's a big no from me.
Right. But it's not in the way that I think Zara expected. It's not, he's trash, he's not good enough for you. You need someone who makes big money because I'm greedy. It's not that. It's Zainab sees it as like, I want more for you. I want you to have a secure life so that you can follow your dreams.
Yeah.
And I think that surprises Zara that she says that. But I mean, I thought that showed support of her dreams, saying, I want you to be able to do the things you want to do with your life. And if you're with someone who can financially support you,
that gives you the freedom to pursue that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, and I don't know if she has any personal qualms with Naim other than just, hey, you don't really know him that well. But
yeah, you're not bringing anything to the table for my daughter.
Right.
It's basically it.
Right.
But she doesn't know him. She's known him for like a week?
Right.
2 weeks?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Not that long.
Yeah. The summer's only 3 months, so it's somewhere in there.
Yeah.
But so I like that Zainab isn't completely vilified. She has moments where it's like she's trying, she's just not doing it in the way that Zara, I think, wants. But Zainab really is trying in her mind to look out for her daughter and her dreams.
Right. But even if there wasn't this other arrangement with Harun, I think it's just what any parent, if they see their kid like wanting to be with someone who is
also struggling
in a really like insecure place in life, they're not going to want their kid to be with them.
Right.
Even if it's not a cultural thing with marriage. Like no parent wants their kid to marry someone who is not at a solid place in their life.
Right. Agreed. And then we also kind of have another, at least for Zara, it's kind of a bomb. She finds out that, it's like her mom's been pushing this arranged marriage, but she finds out that Zainab had a love match with her dad. That it was an arranged marriage. They fell for each other very quickly and went off and got married. And not to say that Zainab didn't love Zara's father, but she tells her, she's like, I want more security for you than that. So it's like she experienced the love match thing, and there were struggles, and she just doesn't want her daughter to struggle. And I'm not siding with the mom, but I see her heart is there.
Yeah.
And
it's an understandable place for you to be.
Yeah, for sure. So, but after that fight, who does she reach out to? It ain't Naim.
It's Harun.
But rather than seeing her mom's heart, she's like, this woman doesn't want me to be happy. Harun, we gotta
speed this up.
Yeah. You and I, our quote unquote relationship has to end so that my mom can stop thinking that you and I need to be together and that she'll want me to be with, or let me be with Naim instead.
Yeah.
She sort of missed the point.
Yeah, which is one of the things that I like pulled out in this scene is I don't quite reconcile the way Zara's mind is working here. Like, in her mind, the only barrier to being with Naim is Harun. And if her relationship with Harun ends, then her mom will concede and allow her to be with Naim. But that just doesn't mesh in my brain. Like,
especially with the things that she said to her in that fight. Like,
it just does not seem like the natural progression of this journey would be if Harun is out of the picture, that Zainab would immediately just be like, all right, well, Harun's not here, so I guess be with Naim.
Right.
I would just assume that she would still be like, no, Naim is not in a place to support you.
Right.
I'm going to go
find
out
you
into
another
the community and find someone else. Like, just because it's not Harun doesn't mean it's Naim automatically.
Right, exactly.
For Zainab.
Right, exactly.
But, I mean, I have to keep reminding myself, reading this, Zara's 18.
Yes.
And that maybe in an 18-year-old mind, this makes sense.
Yes.
And it doesn't make sense in a 32-year-old mind.
Right.
So.
Yes. That was the only, it's like, just talk. That's the thing. That's why I don't watch rom-coms. Because most of them are an issue that could be fixed with one conversation.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
so,
that's
and
true.
even, this is more nuanced than that. So that's why
there is another layer.
It's still an enjoyable read, but just talk to each other.
Yeah.
But like you said, like an 18-year-old brain, no, they're not going to do that.
Yeah, and it's something you just, if you're not the demographic for a YA and you want to read the book, it's really enjoyable to read. You just have to
put yourself in
the mindset.
Yeah.
You have to remember you are not the demographic,
right,
and that this protagonist is 18.
Or you have to kind of remember what it was like to be 18.
Yeah. So you have to do some suspending of your own thoughts.
It's a different type of, it's like a fantasy. You're just suspending your age and wisdom.
Yeah, exactly.
If you have any.
Yes.
So, up in the timetable, so we've got Bad Date number 3, and this one is a
doozy.
Ooh, this one hurt me.
This one was, it really made me sad.
Yeah, because they're not their snarkiness, because they both agreed,
they agreed,
and they even had a cute little moment one-on-one being sassy with each other, and then they were like, "Whoop, we can't let them see us enjoying ourselves together."
Yeah.
But
they both agreed to take it there, and they're like, "We're not pulling punches. We're committed to this ruse."
Right. But someone punches way too hard and in an area they should not have. And that is...
we get a low blow here.
Yeah.
And it sucks.
Deep personal information.
Oof.
And I can't remember. I think it's just the aggravation that, the family was not falling for their bull crap.
They were not.
They were like, oh, you're going to snap at each other? We're going to keep being pleasant and ignore your teenage bull crap.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And I think she finally snaps, and she's like, well, guess what? I don't want to be with someone who's still in love with their ex-girlfriend who was a secret from you.
Yeah.
Skirt. What?
Yep.
So she betrays a confidence that Harun had placed in her.
Yeah, because Harun had a girlfriend in high school, long term, multiple years.
That he kept secret from his parents because she was...
not Bangladeshi.
Yes.
And they broke up because she got into Stanford, and he decided to go to Columbia instead because he didn't want to be that far from his parents.
Right.
And whenever he first met Zara, he was still kind of
mourning the relationship.
Yeah. So he told her about the girl in confidence, and now Zara has sold him out.
Yeah.
She threw him under the bus.
She hit the nuke button. Should not have done that. And then it gets even more wild. Her little sister is acting like a...
She's acting
a wild child throwing food. Oh, God. Yeah.
She's gone fully feral.
That kind of breaks the tension, but it's still the whole thing. I was just like, no, you selfish brat.
It's such a
talking
cringe.
About Zara. I was so mad at her.
I was I was like, oh, no,
Yeah.
why? You didn't.
Yeah. Because
And,
even just their friendship, it's like, you betrayed him. Glad you got what you wanted, or you think you did, and that your parents are going to go, this is over.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so the night ends poorly. I think Zara knows right then and there that she... maybe not right then and there. At first, she's like, well, we said we would do whatever it took, but it's like... except for that was too far. That was a deep cut.
Too far.
Too far.
And at this point, he's not, like, ghosting her fully.
No.
But he is being very, like, short and reserved with her.
Yeah, in the days after this happens.
After, via text.
Yeah, and the family leaves, and they have to have an Uber come pick them up, because Haroon normally would drive them home. It's awkward as heck.
Awkward.
Not great. And like Maddie said, he doesn't stop talking to her, but he's not
there's
going out of his way. He's hurt. He's hurt.
Really hurt.
Yeah.
So we get to the picnic event.
The picnic event.
This is like a community picnic, and Chai Ho, the restaurant, has like a booth that she and Niam are supposed to be working the booth with Mr. Tahir.
I think the girls are probably there too. Danny and Dahlia, or at least one of them. I think one of them might not be there because she's upset about something. There's like an extra little plot with like the twins and kind of their friendships and them not confiding in each other, but not to say that that's not important. It's just not integral to the main plot, so that's why we've kind of skipped over it. But yeah.
Yeah, so...
Or maybe that's at the street fair sort of event later, but...
Either way.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We're here at this picnic. Yeah. We're working the table. Zara kind of gets to have a tray of samples to go kind of see her family for a little bit.
Yeah, because her mom is there with the other aunties.
Yes, and them aunties are being wildin'.
They're wildin' hard.
Yeah. And I think, is it Zara that puts one in their place? Like, one of them's like, I don't know, she's just being snotty, and Zara's just kind of like, oh, well, maybe... your granddaughter, blah, blah, blah. Or
I think one of them mentioned something about Resna playing with the boys.
Oh, yeah. And she, then, claps back at her.
Yeah, and she's like, isn't your son, eating worms or something?
Yes.
Or, eating bugs?
Yes. I was like, small victory. Yes, I like that.
Yeah.
Stand up to them aunties.
So she gets a jab in.
Yeah.
But then Niam is like, hey... let me take you away to this castle.
Yeah. Whisk her away.
So Zara's like, all right, let's head out. Let's see what this is about. But she's thinking about everything now. She's like listening to what the aunties are saying. They were talking some shit about her, like the Haroon thing, the Niam thing. She's thinking about her mom. And she's telling Niam she's crying. She's like, we can't be together. And money... no matter what anyone says, it's important. It is important. It has to be part of the conversation. And she's like, our relationship is doomed. We can't be together. And then Niam is like, we should run away together.
Drop all responsibility. Let's go, girl.
We're going to run away to New York or wherever.
Yeah.
And she's like, huh?
Yeah.
This whole thing just shows that he... does not know her at all.
No, because he's like, if they're such a burden, your family's so troublesome to you, let's just leave. Let's just go.
Yeah. They're holding you back.
Yeah. Yeah, that's when I was like, oof, boy.
Yeah. So this is whenever she learns that because he's like, we can run away together because I've already done it.
Yeah.
And this is whenever she finds out that he's not an orphan.
Yeah.
And that
no one died.
No one died. He just ran away from his family.
And the pressures that they put on him.
Yeah.
And that's why he's encouraging her to do the same now. Yeah. But
she loves her family.
Yeah. She wants to support her family. Like, she wouldn't work so hard for her family if she didn't love them and care. So the fact that he's just like, yeah, drop them like a bad habit. Let's go.
Yeah.
She's like, you don't know me at all. And then also, hold up, wait a minute.
I don't know you.
Yeah. You said that you lost your family and now you just ran away from them, so you lied to me?
Yeah. And let her believe that they had a bond over losing family.
Yeah.
That's a very huge part of like who she is.
Yes.
The loss of her dad.
Yes.
And he didn't bother to correct her when she's like, we both lost someone. That's not a trivial thing.
Right. And then Niam gets really harsh with her when she does not drop everything to go with him. It's like a switch turns.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I guess I don't really know you. Oh, he just gets...
You're not who I thought you were.
Yeah. And he just gets nasty to her. Yeah. It's like, because she doesn't want to do what you want her to do. Also, she just found out that you're a flippin' liar. Like, get out of here. Bye.
Yeah, his behavior in that scene is just so off-putting.
Yeah, and it just I was like, right, he doesn't know you, because he doesn't truly understand the relationship you have with your family, and so he can't possibly love you. He doesn't know you.
Exactly.
He had this idea of her, and I mean, he even kind of says that it's like, you're not who I thought you were.
Exactly.
Well, I guess you were too busy singing me songs and kissing me to learn who I really am. Then, huh?
Yeah.
She didn't say that, but she should have.
Yeah, she really, really should have.
So poor girl's devastated. She's had a huge fight with her mom over the way she behaved at Haroon's house. Haroon's upset with her. Now her and Niam are done. Mm-hmm. Girl.
She's struggling.
Yeah.
So now we're at the aftermath of the picnic.
Yeah. Yeah. Niam, the coward that he is, has packed up and left town.
Yeah, leaves, like, immediately. No word to anyone.
Nope. Bye.
And Zara's sad, obviously.
Yeah.
And
her world just crashed down in, like, 5 different areas.
Yeah. So she's sad. She's moping. Niam is gone. It doesn't seem like her sadness about Niam is really because of Niam. Mm-hmm. It really thinks... I really think that her issue is that she was deceived by Niam, and it made her lose her friendship with Haroon.
Yeah, yeah. I agree. She kind of puts that together.
Yeah. So the twins and Jimena see that she's, like, struggling.
Yeah.
And they're like, let's have a sleepover. So they have a sleepover at the Tahir house. Mm-hmm. And so... they have, like, a bonding day. They talk over all the things that are bothering them. Mm-hmm. The relationships, going away to school. Because that's one thing that Zara has been struggling with, is that all 3 of them are going away to school and she's staying there.
Yeah.
And she feels like they're moving on without her. And they're like, no. Yeah. You're stuck with us, basically.
Right. Yeah.
So
you ain't getting rid of us just because there's distance.
Yeah. So they're getting all their grievances out and having a good time. And the twins fall asleep. The twins and Jimena fall asleep, but Zara can't sleep.
Yeah.
So she calls Haroon and she apologizes.
Yeah. As she should. Because that was really fucked up. Yeah. Yeah, it was. But so they mend their friendship. She apologizes. And then they decide that they want to continue to hang out with each other as friends, but they want to hide it. Yeah. My thoughts on that are, it's just they don't want their families to get the expectation up. The dating is still on. So it's sort of like, yeah, let's be friends. Let's just be friends in secret. Yeah. So there's even less pressure than before. Yeah.
And there also is a little bit of a romanticism with, like, sneaking around. Yes. I don't know.
I think that even if they don't acknowledge it, you see threads of true affection in how they express how they've missed each other or how they want to become friends again. Yeah. You know? Yeah. So, which I liked. Yeah. I'm not good at banter, but boy, do I love it when 2 characters have a good back and forth.
I agree. It's like what creates the chemistry in the book, really, is the way that 2 characters interact with each other. Yeah. Like platonically and romantically.
Right. But... yeah. It's like, if one's just picking on one and the other one is not enjoying it, that's not fun. But when you can kind of razz each other and it's fun for both parties, that's when it's enjoyable.
So
they're talking, they're texting. They start flirting.
They're flirting with each other. Mm-hmm. They are text flirting, which I remember this well. Mm-hmm. I don't know if people still text flirt. I don't either. But I do remember when I was in high school is when, like, texting really blew up. Mm-hmm. people were still paying per text back then.
It was worth that 10 cents a text.
Listen, it was. I vividly remember it wasn't too long before I talked my dad into like adding texting to our phone plan. But I do remember there was one span of time where I was doing a lot of texting before we had unlimited. And I just like gathered change. And I'm like, here, Dad, this is for all my texts.
Ain't nobody sending LOL, JK, hey, how you doing in like 5 different text messages. No. You're sending that in a text.
Bulk form.
If you're sending me 10 text messages, 10 different words,
get out of town.
You're paying my bill.
That's right. You better send me all your dimes. So, but they're like text flirting, and it made me think of like being in high school and like texting like the boys in your class.
And I love how they're like kind of, we don't really know his side of it, but for Zara, it's like, oh, it's kind of flirty. Oh, well, I'm just gonna leave it there. We'll see how he responds.
See how this goes.
Right. But so they go on they don't label it as a date, but it sure is a date to me.
Yeah, it's a date.
Yeah. Because, they go to Harun's favorite place.
Yeah.
At this, this special spot that only he goes to that, like, overlooks a bridge, or is it on a bridge? Or I think it looks upon a bridge.
Yeah, like his favorite bridge, because he's like
He's into engineering. Yeah. And they talk about family, and they're bonding more, and they're flirting more, and they're getting to know each other deeper, and then they hold hands.
Which, there is almost nothing more, like, wholesome than holding hands.
And, like, I don't know about anybody else. Maybe it's just me. But, like, when you hold hands with someone for the first time and you get that little, like, jolt,
Yeah.
It's exciting and it's sweet, Or, like, that movie theater thing where you're sitting there, like, your hand, like, as far over without being completely obvious. Oh, it's awful.
And, like...
I'm so glad I can just hold Caleb's hand whenever I want now.
Yeah. And it's, like, hand-holding is it's super, like... an intimate thing too.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I don't know.
You're holding on to each other. Yeah. I think it's very sweet, and it's like the first indication that it's a nonverbal admittance, I think, from both of them that there's more than friendship here. Yeah,
because it's very rare that you platonically hold hands.
Very rare.
It's really rare. Yeah. Of course people platonically hold hands. It's just not super common. Yeah. Really the only time that I'm platonically holding hands with someone is probably like at a show.
In a big crowd, and you don't want to get lost from each other.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Then, yes.
Yeah.
That's for survival.
Yes.
But not just like, in a static
just standing still
space.
Next to each other. Yeah. You might lock elbows, but holding hands?
Yeah, locking elbows is much more like the girlies.
Yeah.
But holding hands is more like intimate.
Yes, I absolutely agree. But so in that moment, I think Zara admits to herself that she has feelings for Harun.
Yes.
And then they go see a romantic movie together.
Yeah.
Not a date, my butt.
Come on. So now we're at the festival.
Yeah.
And Amma has a booth at the festival.
Mm-hmm.
And Amma and Zara are still, like, not reconciled.
Yeah. They're not hating each other, but they're just...
There's, like, this iciness in the air between them. So Zara and Jimena are helping prepare stuff
for Chai Ho. But he's like, go help your mom.
Yeah.
We're good here.
Your mom needs you. And so Zara is helping at the booth because Zainab's, like, clothing business, she has, like, stock that she's made, and that's what she's there to sell.
Yeah.
In addition to what she's doing for the wedding.
Yes.
And so they run into Push Pita Kala at the booth. Mm-hmm. And Harun is with her.
Yeah.
And they're just, like, busy. They're trying to make sales. And Harun offers to help at the booth.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah. I think the moms are a little awkward at first, but then when they see that, like, the kids are okay, they kind of stop being awkward.
Yeah, and they kind of go back to their friendly ways.
But yeah, so I don't, like we said, I don't know if Zolad is this girl's name or if it's, like, a way of saying that she's a bridezilla. Either way, it works. And this turd on a cupcake shows
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, she sees Zara's outfit while she's working at this booth, and she's like, oh, stop everything. Scratch everything you've done for my wedding, Zainab, and I'm gonna have you do this dress instead. And it's like, pardon me. But Zainab can't afford to lose this business. I think even Push Pita kind of tries to help a little bit, but the bride Zolot is like adamant. She's like, my fiance has tons of money, like it's not an issue. And I think Zainab's even like, are you gonna give me some money for these changes? You just talk to him about it, girl. I'm gonna smack the cash right out of your purse. Like, get out of here.
It's so rude.
It was so rude, and it stressed me out so hard. I was like, I cannot deal with you. But I think she agrees because she kind of has no choice because the girl threatens to, okay, well, I'll just take my business elsewhere. It's like, oh, no. No, you still owe me money. So she reluctantly agrees, and kindly Pushpita reassures Zainab, but
because Pushpita Kala kind of feels bad at this point. She like referred her.
Right. And again, it wasn't in any sort of like, oh, well, this can help give like the girl that my son's dating status. It was just like, hey, I want to help Zainab and have business. And so she feels really bad. And so her and Haroon both kind of respectfully, or I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but they both kind of tell their friends, hey, I'm sorry, it's going to be okay. It'll be okay.
They're supporting them.
So
now we get back to Professor Liu.
Basically,
the lit professor.
She basically is like, hey, your writing's really good. I want to help you. And Zara's like, that's great. I can't afford it. So she even gets, is it another professor or to kind of come in and
they like make some moves, and they're like, we can see you're really talented, and so we want to make sure that you're able to take the class. And so they are going to get her tuition reimbursement, and that's a huge help. So
and the whole way Haroon is like encouraging Zara and really happy for her.
And he constantly tells her like, you're such a good writer, blah blah blah. You're the smartest person I know. So
it's really great.
It's a really good thing for Zara. She's like feeling that sense of accomplishment, and she's going to get to take a class. To have this professor not only be like, I love what you do, but also like, I believe in it so much, and I believe in your potential that we want to help you. You have to be in my class.
I think it's pretty great.
So that is enough for Zara, and then she and Haroon go on another second date.
And Sammy Afa and her little brother tag along this time. I'm guessing Sammy's also kind of helping them keep it a secret. But she's also doing it the right way, being a good little chaperone.
They go to the balloon festival, which is so cute.
So cute. I want to go.
We went last year.
Did you?
It was really cool.
I feel like it would be super cool. Like, the instant I was like, good job, buddy.
It's like a really precious day. It's like a little romantic. It's also at night because they like light the balloons up. You can go on a hot air balloon ride. I want to do that. It was too windy when we went.
And it's like a secret, but they're still like in public together, you know? So it's not...
And they're not doing anything like mischievous or nefarious. Right. They're not out here kissing.
Right. Damning their souls or however she felt when she was kissing Niall.
Because they both do seem to like have a value for their culture and want to like do the right thing
Yeah,
according
they have a
to like
deep
their
love
culture
for their
and
family.
and
That's
their
why
religion.
they're afraid to disappoint them so much.
Exactly. Which is another reason why like Niam kissing Zara like so soon. And obviously she enjoys the kiss and it's
Right,
like romantic,
yeah.
but him initiating that, it just it just shows he's not he doesn't know her.
Yeah.
And doesn't really care to get to know her, honestly.
Yeah, I kind of felt that way too.
So
Yeah,
so they go on a hot air balloon ride, and Zara admits her feelings to Haroon, and she's like, yo, I think I love you. And he does kiss her here, and he says that he loves her too. Aww. And
but see, this was a love kiss.
This is a love kiss.
Not a secret picnic at night kiss.
Yeah, that's right. And they're with a
I don't
chaperone.
know, it's different.
It's different. They're with a chaperone.
Yeah, she's around.
She's around. And they do decide to tell their parents that they want to keep dating, but they will only consider marriage after both of them graduate from college.
And that was something that Haroon stated. He was like, only after both of us finish college, which showed Zara that, like, he knows her and he respects her. And I like that.
Exactly.
Sweet, wonderful friendship turned to love.
I know. Oh, so cute. And then we have this concert.
Yep. So, because I think they were just going to, like, have a dinner, or they were going to tell their parents individually, and then Zara's mom all of a sudden was like, hey, there's this concert, and we're going, and I made these arrangements, and it's like, okay.
Yeah.
All
and
right.
so the concert is put on by Nesrin Shah, a.k.a. Nesrin Akhtar, which is her maiden name. She's about to hold a concert. Now, Nesrin is Nanu's favorite actress. So they're all going to go. And the Imams are going as well.
So they figure, okay, well, then we'll Mom's acting weird, but we'll have our families sit kind of like they did to them. Like, oh, let's sit at the dinner table together. They're like,
next to each other.
The kids kind of are like, oh, let's sit at the concert together.
Yeah.
And but before they can enact their plan of telling their families about their relationship, swerve.
The concert starts and Nesrin is on stage and her son comes out. He's wearing like this costume and he has a mask on and they're singing and doing all of these things, and then all of a sudden it's Niam.
Yep. And Zara's getting scooped on stage.
Yep.
And Zainab is not surprised.
Not surprised.
She knew what was up.
She was in on the plan, and apparently Niam is the son of Nesrin Shah, the actress, and the Shahs are like the Bangladeshi family.
They're like, they are true, not just like lineage royalty, but they are like current like royalty, famous, like highest of the echelons of society.
So Niam's dad is like the richest man in Bangladesh.
Yeah.
And
Niam's basically like...
Yeah. And so he pulls her on stage and proposes to her in front of the whole crowd.
Just like, after everything you said, I went back to my family and... oh,
I'm sorry. I missed you. And now I want to marry you.
Marry me. From a million people.
Yeah. And this part is crazy.
I was so annoyed.
I was so annoyed.
I was so happy. I was like, they're going to tell their parents and everyone's going to be like happy and relieved, but like they found each other in their own terms, and it's just, oh, what a sweet ending. No. Then we have to do this bullcrap nonsense with Niam, and he pulls her up there, and she's in such shock that she just says yes, which I'm sure happens, but I'm sorry. Like, I would have just been like, ran off stage. Like,
yeah, you don't have to answer. Just leave.
Yeah, just leave.
Run away.
Yeah. So of
Flight.
course, yeah.
Take flight.
I mean, I guess, there's fight, flight, or freeze. I guess she froze, but like, girl, you did not have to nod your head.
Yeah, I
I know she was dazed, but I hated this part. I was so mad.
It was unnecessary, to be honest.
Yeah, because she says yes, and then she tries to go find Haroon, and then she does, and then they have this big fight. And out of character, I personally think, is like, you should just be with him. He can provide for you more than I ever could. So now it's like Haroon is the poor one comparatively.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he even says something like, well, what? Then I'm going to be the guy that made you dump, Niam, who's basically
this
like
opportunity.
Yeah. I'm going to be the guy that makes you like miss that opportunity. And then if we don't work out, that's too much pressure.
Yeah.
I was so annoyed.
Yeah, I was so annoyed. But I do think Zara, once she gets off stage and she's like talking to Haroon, I think her reaction to Haroon is nice because she doesn't let him get away with it.
Yeah.
She's like, no, I don't care about how much money he has. She's like, I don't want him and I don't need anyone to save me because I am going to save myself.
Right.
Like, I don't need any of this.
Right. But they still part ways.
Yeah.
Not great. The only good thing that comes out of this, and I think her and her mom still could have had this conversation after they admitted, oh, we want to be together. Her and her mom could have pulled aside and her mom could have been like, this is what I wanted for you, but so I'm happy, but I'm even happier that I just want you happy, daughter. Like, because that's basically what she ends up saying. She's like, I was part of this Niam thing because I thought he was the one that you really wanted, so I was part of the scheme. Like, I didn't realize. Because again, Zara didn't tell her mom anything.
Yeah.
Not about him lying, not about him betraying her trust, like nothing. So her mom, again, is, granted, she's not very vocal about it, but like secretly she is like supporting her daughter again, and they work through things, and I think that that moment is needed, but I just don't think that we had to go through this whole bogus proposal to get there.
It is just silly. It was an unnecessary scene.
Yeah, it added such a high drama to the end of the book that I was irritated. I was like, no.
Yeah, because it felt like we had already resolved our conflict.
Yes.
Just to have another conflict.
Yes.
In.
Just for a surprise. Like,
just for a surprise.
He's the son of la 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 la. It's like, whatever. I don't care. I'm so annoyed.
Yeah. And honestly, we could have had the reveal of Niam's true identity without the fanfare. We didn't need the production value.
They could have done it in the newspaper. They could have had a newspaper article that she sees down the road that says, prodigal son returns. And she could see that. She'd be like, oh, and then maybe she could have kind of had the thought like, oh, that probably was a lot of pressure, like, and maybe forgiven him in her own way, or at least understood like why he lied or ran away or whatever, and then still had the guitar shop thing happen. But no, we had to have this big dramatic whatever. And like I said, I just felt like Haroon's reaction was out of character.
Yeah, I agree.
For me personally.
Yeah.
So I didn't like it.
It was unnecessary.
Yeah.
Totally. But at least Zara does turn Niam down. It happens that same night.
Yes, after the concert, she goes back and she's like, hey, whoa, you blindsided the heck out of me. Yeah. It's going to be a no from me, champ.
Yeah, especially because guess what? I don't even know you.
Right.
And you fucking left. Like a little
and
bitch.
said not a word, and then all of a sudden you're proposing to me?
Yeah.
Get out
this does not
of
compute.
here.
This does not compute.
Bye.
See ya. And she's just like, gonna vibe the rest of the summer with her friends.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep. So they do that.
And then Jimena and Danny do break up.
But they resolve to stay friends.
But they're gonna stay friends.
Because there was a little conflict there where, like, I think Jimena has aspirations to do like humanitarian work, and I think she wanted Danny to
Come with
her. But Danny almost did, but then I think Dahlia kind of helped Danny realize like, hey,
she wants to go to college.
Right, like you need to do you. If you guys are meant to be together, you will be. But like, you're clearly conflicted. Don't throw your plans away for someone else. And so she doesn't. She makes the right choice and decides to go to college with her sister. And Dahlia doesn't do it out of
selfishness.
No, she just sees the conflict in her sister, and she's just like, do what's right for you.
Yeah, which is the best advice.
Agreed. And then Amma's clothing business blows up after the wedding. And so her business gets to be very successful. And so she's able to pay Zara back. And Zara gets a car so that she can go to school and work. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. And she finishes the first draft of her novel.
Yeah. And Arif, her younger brother, starts working at Chaiho a little bit with her.
So then he's helping contribute to the family as well.
Yeah. Because I think he's like 15 or something like that.
Something like that. He's not, and, we kind of gloss over it because there's so much, but like he kind of helps give her little peeks of advice or like, he tries to help her in his own way sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes in a way that she doesn't want, but he really is trying to be a good brother.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Her siblings are very cute.
Yes.
So at this point, we get the postcard in the mailbox. Mm-hmm. And she's already headed into the city anyway. So she's like, I'm going to pop over to this address. And it's Naim's guitar shop in New York. Yeah. So they have an interaction. He wanted her to know he had accomplished it. And they part amicably.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
Yeah.
And then we're at the ending.
Yeah. They make us wait through all that.
All of that.
To learn that, and her and Haroon, like, made up also, like, that night. Or, like, the next day. Like, yeah, that night. And she basically was like, hey, stop being an absolute moron.
And his whole family's like, Haroon, you dumb idiot. Why?
Right. So they mend their relationship and they get back together.
Yeah.
Which, again, that didn't seem like in character for him. So that part annoyed me also. It's like, yeah, she shouldn't have had to chase you down.
Yeah.
But so they mend things and they're dating and they're both going to college. I think he's at a different college than her.
Yeah, he's at Columbia.
Yeah. And she is the college that she's at just like the community college or something? Yeah. But they still visit each other. Like she visits him, and vice versa. So yeah, they're doing their dating thing while they're doing college and
Yep.
Is that pretty much it? Oh, she finishes her final draft of the book, and then she gives Haroon a copy of the manuscript, and the dedication says, "To Haroon, my very own love match."
Aww.
Which was very sweet.
It was very sweet. So, yeah, overall, I liked the ending. Mm-hmm. I just didn't like the concert.
Yeah.
I just didn't like it.
That being plugged in kind of dampened the ending for me. Because like I said, it put light on Haroon's character that I didn't think was appropriate. But the rest of it was fine. But yeah, I think that I liked that her and her mom had that moment. But I think they could have had it.
Yeah.
Even after.
Yeah. And it just felt, that actually felt jarring in the trajectory of the story.
Yeah.
Because we were we were
winding down.
We're resolved around this, and it just all of the sudden here we are again.
Yeah, we were slingshotted into what?
It was just too jarring.
Yeah.
It feels like the editor of this book should have caught that.
Yeah.
Honestly.
But then again, maybe they were like, I feel like we need just a little more conflict.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know which way it was, but I disagreed with that choice. But otherwise, an enjoyable book. It's got some clear themes, your own desires versus other people's expectations of you, or your own desires versus, your responsibilities. Mm-hmm. And then you've got love versus stability. Yeah. Which, is even a theme that we kind of discussed in Pride and Prejudice. Yeah. But she mentions Pride and Prejudice a few times in this book. So she loves that book. So.
As I was reading, I actually did kind of feel like maybe this plot is loosely kind of Pride and Prejudice-y.
Yes, I can see it for sure.
So, you know, you have, like, Haroon is, like, Darcy, and Niam is, like, Wickham.
Yeah.
Wickham.
And then also, like, the reputation, like the reality versus perception versus gossip.
Right.
And all that. So, yeah.
Yeah. Overall, very enjoyable. I gave it 3 stars out of 5.
Yeah. I would just say 3.5 because I kind of teetered. I was like 3, 4, 3, 4, 3,
Yeah.
3. We're just going to go 3.5.
Yeah. I could put it at a solid 3.
Yeah.
And honestly, if I would have read this as a younger person, maybe it would have been higher than 3.
Yeah.
Because I did really enjoy it. It had the page turnability factor, of course.
Yes.
But the interesting part that we hinted at earlier, there is a clue about who Niam is.
Oh, yeah. And I completely missed it. Maddie completely caught it. Went right over my little noggin.
So when Niam meets Zainab and Nanu, they're watching the Natak. Yeah. And it's a Nezrin Akhtar. Mm-hmm. And Zara introduces Niam as Niam Akhtar. Mm-hmm. And I know that, like, Nezrin Akhtar's married name is Shah, but this Natak was filmed prior to her marriage, so it says starring Nezrin Akhtar, and then she introduces him as Niam Akhtar. And I was like, this is Nanu's favorite actress. Like, she's seen all of her work.
Yeah.
I would have thought that introducing him with that last name would have, like, sparked in her memory.
Yeah.
Like,
wait a minute. What? Yeah.
She may have thought, like, is this her little brother? Or is this her brother? Or something like that.
Or maybe that last name is more common.
Maybe.
But it completely was lost on me. The breadcrumb.
Yeah.
The crow grabbed it from my path because I did not see it at all.
Yeah. But I read it. I was just like, wait, how is Amma and Nanu, how are neither of them?
Yeah. Why are you not picking up with what the author's throwing down?
Because he also has an accent.
Yes. Yeah.
So they know he is not from the U.S.
Yeah.
And he has it's described as like a British accent that's a little not British.
Yes. Yeah. It's like his accent is Bangladeshi with like a hint of a British.
Of the British accent.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I feel like he's got an accent, so you know he's foreign. Mm-hmm. His last name is the same as this actress. Mm-hmm. And he is the right age to be her son.
Yeah. Maybe I just thought, like, since it was Nanu's favorite actress, maybe I had in my head that the actress was, like, Nanu's age. Like, but she was just watching, like, an older film or something.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah,
that
totally missed it. But that's what happens when you switch between reading and listening.
Yeah.
You miss those things sometimes when you listen, I think, rather than, like, physically reading it. So, yeah. But
yeah, there it is.
Yeah. Overall liked it.
Overall good.
Liked the family characters. Mm-hmm. I liked that, like, nobody in the family was, like, a total jerk. It was just normal. You know, it was believable. It was real people. Slight miscommunication or non-communication, but not, like, one simple misunderstanding that could have fixed the whole thing. There wasn't any of that. So I liked them.
Yeah. It felt real. Yeah. Like, the stakes were, like, high, you know? It wasn't just a silly little, like, misunderstanding. Yeah. It's, like, true, like, this is, like, life shit, you know? Like, there's stuff
it was, it's more about lack of communication than a misunderstanding.
Right,
which I like.
Which are different things.
Yes, I agree.
So, yeah. Liked it.
Yeah.
Thought it was good.
Yeah.
There's no film for this book, obviously. But I did look it up just to see, and there is a 1955 film called The Love Match. Not the same. Very different.
Right. I could see them making a movie.
Yeah. I could, like, you know, they have, what is it, The Summer I Turned Pretty kind of gives, like, that YA vibe. Like, there are a few, like, new release movies on Netflix and on Amazon, I believe, that give this, like, vibe.
Cool. Very cool.
So I think it could make a really cute, like, little movie.
Yeah.
I would watch it.
Yeah. Yeah, I would. Yeah, if they turned it into a movie, I would watch it.
Yeah.
If they rewrote the ending. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Leave
That
out
would
the
be a
concert,
big. That would
please.
be a big scene in the movie. They couldn't.
Oh,
they couldn't
they
leave
couldn't.
that out.
They couldn't leave that out.
No way.
They have to do the reveal.
Oh yeah.
So
It's dramatic.
the drama is dramatic.
Yeah.
But so that's that on the love match.
Yeah.
Pick it up.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I read it on my Kindle.
Yeah. It's definitely worth a read.
Yeah.
I think it's got some good emotional notes in there too, especially
I agree.
family
Yeah.
interaction.
families.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's good.
Excellent. I will say that I don't love. I think we've talked about this before. I don't love it whenever the protagonist of a book is a writer.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't love it. It feels strange to me. I feel like, they always say writers will tell writers, write what you know. And I think that you shouldn't.
Yeah.
You shouldn't always write what you know.
Yeah.
Don't write a writer.
Yeah.
I've made a very conscious effort in my own writings to never make my protagonist a writer.
She could have easily had another passion and it would have still gone the same way. So I get it. Yeah, I totally get what you're saying.
So, I mean, it's just my own thing. It's just my own thing. I still liked it. I still liked the book, and it's easy. It is, as a writer, reading about another writer's plight. I do like sympathize with all of that. It's just a thing.
Yeah.
So
I get it.
It's a personal thing. But other than that, liked it. So.
Good.
And our next novel,
The Picture of Dorian Gray.
Oh.
Going back to the classics.
Fair warning. This is one of my favorite books of all time. So fully biased, and I just don't even care.
Yeah.
I wrote a seminar paper about Dorian Gray.
Right. So that one's probably going to be a long episode. I'm surprised this episode was as long as it is, but we did get sidetracked.
Yeah, there's probably quite a bit that we can like pull out and stuff.
And there was a lot in
Yeah.
the book, really, though.
This happens to us.
It does. It does. And but if you guys have gotten this far, you know the drill and you enjoy the intermingled normal conversation. So
yeah. I mean, because it just, it sparks your thoughts.
Right.
Makes you think about actual real life.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what a book is for.
And that's what brains do.
Thoughts
bounce around. They don't stay. My brain anyway can't stay focused on one thing. It's got to hit all the different random things in my brain. So
yeah.
But on that note, please rate and review us. Send along your book recs and let us know if you've read this particular book or any of the other books that we've covered.
Yes.
Like I
said, your thoughts are.
Yes. Yeah, we want your thoughts. But like I said earlier, this is we're like winding down on the pre-recorded stuff. So maybe my next episode, it depends on when we record it, we may be able to get your feedback by then, or it may be a couple episodes after that. But we're moving in the direction of where you guys will actually start hearing some feedback to your reaching out. If you do so, if no one reaches out, then and you don't hear it for several episodes, then you know that none of you are talking to us. And that's okay, I guess.
Yeah. You know what? That's fine.
Right.
DM, email, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do. Yeah. It's fine.
And our tunes and artwork were a collaboration of the We Read Books crew.
Ew. Just creating.
Yep.
So, yeah. Everything is created in-house.
Yeah.
So, this is it.
Yeah, we're not sourcing anything out to other folks. We're not getting paid, so we're not paying somebody else
Certainly not.
to contribute. We got the skills.
That's right. And you know what? That's the moral of the story. You can learn how to do something.
Yeah.
You can figure it out.
Do it your dang self.
That's right.
Because you can.
You can figure it out.
We believe in you.
Exactly. Listen. You can learn to do almost anything on YouTube.
You really can.
You need to fix your HVAC? YouTube.
Yeah.
You want to build something? YouTube.
Yeah. It can be a great resource.
Yeah. Change your oil?
YouTube. We're at the end. This is it.
It's so late.
I know. Okay. Well, until next time, don't be a chicken and read books.
Okay, goodbye.
Bok bok.
Good.